trying to involve international artists. And well, this is a little bit about how we think a Biennale could reinvent itself. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Just a small practical question about the next how long is this, roughly, is this program going to be?
Oh, the program is 100 days, so it will, most of the time it takes place in the summer. But the temperature in Cyprus is 25 minutes flying from Beirut and 25 minutes flying by Turkey. So it's like really in this East Mediterranean part. So the program will run from September, end of September, till the end of the year, 3 months. And as I said, it's seen as a kind of pilot project for the women's school, so 100 days.
And will there be an exhibition that's part of that? I mean, directly.
No, you're actually saying the right thing. You asked the right thing, because now the curators are now working upon setting up the school, so they're visiting art academies all over the world, from Lima to India to Johannesburg, and trying to find out, what kind of new model can we. And they actually, indeed, what you say, they actually also trying to think. It's not official, but they think about maybe because. Manifesta is also like a public program, so people will visit the site and want to see something. So what can you see in a school? So they will work upon a concept in which the students slash artists slash poets, writers, filmmakers work upon a program, an exhibition, or something which they can present to the outside world. So there will be something to see in left coast. And something else which is quite important is that we really focus on and this will be the struggle for the next 2 years, to include on every level people from the Turkish Cypriot and the Greek Cypriot. As you know, the island is like split. The United Nations are in between the Turkish Cypriots and the Greek Cypriot. People can cross the borders, but it's like the Berlin Wall in the 70s and the 80s. It's really a wall in between the island. Although they're talking about changing the situation, the Kofi Annan 5 plan was cancelled last year. So the situation is still like a divided city. But what we promised ourselves is that Manifesta 6 needs to be a bi-communal program. So we will involve sites on the other side. We will involve professionals, curators, artists from the other sides. And even we are talking with Istanbul to try to get money from Turkey into Manifesta.
What do you find is the most difficult aspect of managing an event like this, which is nomadic, as you call it, or is in a way, by its design, has no fixed. Well, you have an office next to it. I mean, what is the most
finances, financial things, and
because
not
it's more
to fall.
expensive.
Well, not what I said. Not to fall in the trap of. It is very easy to find cities. What I said, like offering 4 million, in which. There are always, if you accept this amount of money, there are expectations. Because politicians always want something back. If you identify yourself with a really emerging program, you still have to face the expectation because you took the money. So this is why I said we slow down. We would rather go to a very complicated situation where there's no money, which is actually the case in Cyprus. The Cypriot government does not spend money on contemporary art. They have archaeological sites from the Greek and the Romans and the Phoenicians and the Ottoman Empire, which they need to cherish. So we rather go to sites which are more interesting in really developing a program than, for example, go to this city and say, take the 4 million and run. So finding alternative funding systems is maybe the most difficult thing.
But the fact that you're only doing it there once, doesn't it give you a little bit of leverage? You're not going to do something again.
Well, actually, this is the problem. I think We cannot turn to the West again, because we did it in Rotterdam, which is quite wealthy. Then we did it in Luxembourg. Luxembourg is the site of the European Commission. Then we went to Ljubljana. Then we went to Frankfurt, money-based city. So now we need to really, maybe the itinerary of Manifesta will be San Sebastian, Basque Country, Cyprus, and I could imagine that we go to Ukraine, Kiev, or Belarusia, or go to St. Petersburg, or the Baltic. Go in a kind of a circle from this point. And I think the more we focus on going to those places, the more other money is able to be found. Because what I actually see is that going to a kind of a very difficult place like the East Mediterranean, like Lebanon and Cyprus and all this, it's complicated in all kinds of senses. There are organizations like Open Society Fund, Ford Foundation, in the Netherlands, who say, this is really important. We are going to give you money because you do something which you also did in the 90s.
You talk about wanting to go to difficult places rather than places that want you. How do you deal with issues of cultural imperialism by going to imposing on places, bringing Western money to isolate?
It's always a discussion. It's always a discussion, and it's a very difficult discussion. And it takes place more in Western cities than in London. In Ljubljana, it was not this really issue. Also in Basque Country, Spain, it was not an issue. It was an issue in Frankfurt, strangely enough. Strangely enough, the Frankfurt institution said, why do we need a Manifesta? We have everything. Our cultural infrastructure is so greatly built. But we are also very much aware of going to the East Mediterranean. How do we go there? With what kind of intention? With what kind of mentality? This is why I said we're not bringing there a kind of Western-orientated model of an art school, because then again it's seen as neo-colonialism or imperialism. Therefore, it might turn out that the school which is going to be set up there might be a mix of a school they saw in Lima, Johannesburg, and for example, the preliminary process leading to what the school is going to be is involving the so-called coffee breaks. So, for example, in November, we will organize a coffee break in Beirut. And a coffee break means sitting together with the local people from Beirut, Damascus, Jordania, Cairo, Cyprus, Turkey, and say to them, what do you need? What do you want?
What do you mean by local people?
Yeah.
You mean
that's
professionals, or do you mean like the shawarma?
No. This is local people. It's for me like the people who work there.
But in the arts.
In the region.
But in the arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But it could be also like involving politicians. It could involve writers, theoreticians, people. But the coffee break, for example, in Beirut in November is a very, very important step. Then we organize a coffee break in Cairo in spring 2006. And then we will organize a series of events taking place all over Europe in also trying to figure out what do people think a postgraduate art school in 2006 means. How do people perceive the idea of a postgraduate interdisciplinary art school? Another thing the curatorial team did is running the research process towards setting up this art school. They commissioned 10 writers, international writers, who are very experienced in educational matters, from universities, from curatorial schools, from art schools, to write an article. And it will be a book which we publish in November, which gives a kind of preliminary idea where it could lead to. What is the status quo of art education in general? And hopefully this could lead part of the discussion process with Manifesta 16.
Is there somewhat a problematic status of situation between the needs of Manifesta and the needs of whatever country we're going to, or whatever situation of the next Manifesta. Because that's, it's a power relationships, and also the idea of this ideological structure that Manifesta is.
Very much so. And therefore I think, for example, where I started a lecture, that's why the needs of Manifesta is trying to be really ideological, in the 90s, trying to move communities together from the East and the West. We think, as the organizers, we succeeded in that. But this is why I started the lecture in saying, we cannot write our own history. That's why we commissioned those two, this Princeton academic and the Brussels curator, to edit this book and to create this analysis and investigation. Did Manifesta in the 90s succeeded actually in winning those communities? What were the realities and did we succeed? Or did we do totally wrong? And you will see, I will send some copies of the books because it's published by MIT in September. They are really critical articles. Some people, especially in the West, not from the Eastern, but from the West, a lot of people say, what did you actually do? I mean, you brought maybe 200 artists from Eastern Europe who are now on the top level of the international market. But what did you do for the local communities? So it is really a critical approach towards Manifesta. But we think this is the learning curve. This is what we need to be faced with. To maybe learn how to bring the needs of something like Manifesta and what is needed in Europe more close together. Or maybe we say after the book, I know what is in the book, so we might say, is there really a necessity to continue with Manifesta? Maybe it served its purpose in the 90s. But maybe Europe as such, as a continent, is not so interesting anymore. It is entire globalized, this is what I said, the landscape of biennials changed enormously in the 90s. As I started, you had Documenta, Venice Biennale, Sao Paulo. Now you have hundreds. I mean, maybe Kwang Yu Biennale is more important than Manifesta because it deals with totally different subjects. Maybe Taipei is even more. I mean, this is, I think, what people in the art world needs to question itself. Do we serve a purpose? What do we do? Or do we only spend money?
No, it's interesting that and I can understand why this is a short. I'm talking about East and Western Europe, but it's also a lot more complicated than in Slovenia. I think I'm not an expert on Slovenia, but the impression I have is they would be very insulted to be considered Eastern European. I mean, that's a country with very, historically a very strong westward orientation, and now you're going to Cyprus, which is really the Christian Middle East, basically.
Yeah. You're right, it's much more diverse and much more complicated. But for example, the fact that nobody actually knows how, or at that time, we're talking about 1998, 2000, how to identify exactly Slovenia, was the reason that the Manifesta 3 was called a borderline syndrome. Because Slovenia, from our western side, is east. But from the eastern countries, it's called west, because they're the closest to the Austrian border. Until the time, and economically and culturally extremely developed. But this is, you're very right, these notions are very difficult to identify and very complicated, and also as wordings like local and international, or
it would be really interesting to see the Cyprus one, because I guess to me is that you're really going farther out on a limb. To go to Slovenia is essentially one of those places, essentially a cultural context which is not so far removed from one.
Well, it is also about, why shouldn't it be? This is what came out from this coffee breaks, this summer school discussions. Somebody said, why are you sticking to Europe? Why don't you go to Dakar or to Africa and investigate Europe from an outside position? Or go into the Middle East. Why don't you go to Jerusalem? Because through colonialization processes, Europe has so many influences. And maybe it's interesting just to denotify it from the outside to the inside. Maybe you get this totally different perspective. And I think, I mean, Cyprus joined, this is one factor, but it's important in terms of European boundaries. Cyprus joined the EU last year. It is, in terms of being an official European biennial, it is the most outside border as we could get. Cyprus at the other time, metaphorically, has always been occupied by other cultures. It was the Greek, the Romans, the Crusaders, the Phoenicians, the Ottoman, the British. Cyprus doesn't have its own identity, and since, this is what they say themselves. They are since '72, they've occupied half of the country is occupied by the Turks. Manifesta, although we are not solving any political issue in that, not even trying, we don't want to be too arrogant to do that. Manifesta as being outsiders in Cyprus, we already see that on a very basic, small, modest level, people start communicating to each other. And all those, for example, I said to the mayor of the Greek Cypriot part, I need to talk with your colleague on the other side, the Turkish Cypriot part. I said, officially this is not possible because it doesn't exist. The Republic of Cyprus only exists from the point of view of the Greek Cypriot idea. Then I said, how can we overcome this? Because we promised ourselves to do a bicommunal manifesto. So by me as an outsider, as a mediator coming in, we in May try to organize a meeting between the Greek and the Turkish Cypriot mayors. And they both promised that if politically accepted, we're going to work on this thing together. So it's all these kind of small collaborational issues are small, modest, but maybe in the end, just being an outsider, it might.
More questions? Or we happy to do her sightseeing?
Maybe I can give this around. These are like the Manifesta journals.
We also keep some of them here. So if you,
I can send more so you can
we keep
read them. There are different issues. For example, one issue is teaching curatorship. Another issue is an investigation into what biennials do in the world and how people think about it. We wrote one issue about exhibition as a dream.
Nice article from me in it.
Yeah, very nice article from you.
Yeah, everybody, thanks a lot for coming. Fantastic for spending your very valuable Asian time here.
No.
It's great to see so many of you here at that time of the week. I hope to see some of you or all of you next week if we talk on Saturday about the future of Parasite, if people are interested about telling me what they actually want to see here and I telling you what I think I want from here. Yeah, again, welcome to Parasite, welcome to Hong Kong, Hedwig and family, thanks for the time. And yeah, hope to see you all back soon.